Today, I'm going to interview a family of 3, and we're going to tour their school bus conversion. Let's get into it.
Guys, we're about to blow your freaking minds. I'm Justin.
I'm Juby. And this is Azalea.
And this is our bus, Red Peppa.
Well, welcome. This is the community farm. This is Wildwoods. We have a lot down here along with all the rest of our neighbors who all live in tiny houses that they've built out.
We're all super cool. Next month is going to be our 2-year anniversary. Been together for probably like 5 or 6 years. Love of my life right here. We met in Hawaii, and then I had to go up to Baltimore to steal her heart away. I convinced her to move down with me, and then all of a sudden, boom, you have this beautiful piece of love, Azalea. And so, you know, we decided to live tiny about 1.5 years ago, give or take, and we've been doing it ever since. And you know, it's all been absolutely amazing. All right, guys. You ready? Welcome to my captain's area. This is the captain's chair, beautifully covered by my wife and her extra fabric. We had to add a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of style. Got a control panel. This just works, you know, our windshield wipers and things such as. This is just a little bit of art from Juby. It's funny, the story behind these two. This was actually the same people we used to cover the windows when we were spray painting the bus. We have our GoPro attachment, so for whenever we're driving, we can hook up the GoPro. We have our door that opens and closes like this. Here we made a little cushion to go over our engine cover. And so this is just kind of like a way to add some extra seating whenever we have guests over. And then here we've got our engine. We've got a Cummins 5.9 liter engine. She runs like a Cadillac. I have some beekeeping equipment here. Basically, I've harvested honey this time of year, and so, you know, when you don't have a place to store it, you just stick it wherever it fits. Up here, this is a really cool piece. What's really cool is we can take this piece of plexiglass whenever we're driving, take this, screw it in, and it holds all our stuff in place so nothing falls out while we're driving. So we just store random bits and bobs here, some of Juby's jewels, and our, obviously, which is super important, our laundry quarter stash. And so we also put this up here. This is a gift that was given to us by some friends of ours at our wedding, and it has some really beautiful words on it, a poem called Light Created. And for us, this is just really meaningful, a piece that we wanted to add to the bus. This is a little curtain area. Again, all about the feng shui. So this is actually made of camel hair. It was a gift from somebody that Juby knew. Everything that's cool was basically from Juby. So it really just kind of gives an ambiance as well as keeps some of the bugs out too. We made a little bit of kind of like a poo pile area back here where we can just store some random tools that we need, like a screwdriver. We store our locks, master lock for the bus whenever we have to lock her up. We built in a little space for some random bits and bobs as well. Storage is huge whenever you're designing, so always keep that in mind if you're doing the design yourself. But for us, we use this primarily for shoes, for our shopping bags, keep our hammock in here, and just whatever fits. This spot's really cool. Juby made these cushions and these pillows, and so we use it just to kind of lounge, and whenever I come home from a long day at work, I come and lay on this bad boy. I primarily use this for storing my bottles for my honey. You can see we have these wires that come out, and we can charge our cell phone, laptop, mega boom speaker, and camera battery charger. This is where the magic happens. Juby and I do a lot of our work here whenever we're doing laptop work, and this is where we have our meal. We got this really cool seat. It's compact, and it also allows Azalea to join us whenever we have delicious meals in the bus. We took the emergency exits from where they were, and we moved them to this location so that we can open these windows and they actually pop out. This is our very glamorous laundry basket. That was also something that we didn't necessarily plan for in the bus when we were designing it. So it just kind of, you know, squeezes into a corner.
So this is our kitchen. I had wanted to do some kind of drainage for our dirty and clean dishes. So we have our sink area here, and then we put our dishes here to dry. And I used just a regular chisel and sandpaper and went at it for like a day or two. It was a big project. But it just kind of drains back into the sink area. Bless you. Oh my goodness, that's a big old booger. Okay. So this sink is a big enough sink so that Azalea can fit in it and use it as her bathtub. It's a hammered copper sink. We wanted one whole piece instead of like a divide. And then this is our water filter. So we just use this and kind of like bring it up here to fill it. And it strains down here, and then we just refill our water like that. And that's primarily just drinking water. This is our diffuser for essential oils that I make. We keep chalk for our chalkboard. On this side is all our drawers. We've got our cutlery and knives, plates, cups, bowls, a little food pantry, and Tupperwares. We attach these hooks on there so that we can clip them in whenever we're on the road. I had started working on some wood burning. Our personal love is that I'm the moon and he's the sun. Justin is the sun. And so we have sun and moon everything. So this is a sun and this is a moon that has yet to be wood burned in this one. They obviously still have to be finished. And then Justin's a beekeeper, and we found these bee doorknobs and had to have them. We keep our drying rack down here. On this side, we got our rubbish bin, and right now we just use paper bags for our recycles. This is our wall of fame. It's just a bunch of Polaroid pictures that we have taken over the course of the last couple of years, mostly I guess of our baby Azalea and all our good friends holding her.
This is our bathroom. Got our Nature's Head composting toilet. Way expensive, but worth it. We wanted to create some privacy, and so this is some stuff that you can buy in a roll and cut it to size, and basically it'll stick to your glass. We've got a light that we created ourselves. We used to have cats, and so this used to be a cat door, but now this is just extra storage for our filing cabinet. We cut pieces of 4x4 and blowtorched a few of these to make this pattern. We're essentially going to put epoxy over it to finish the floor out. So this is a curtain. So if you need a little bit of privacy to take your morning number 2s, you can just pull the curtain like so. And then we also, it's kind of dual purpose. We can take this down and then we can move it over here whenever we need to take our showers. Boop. Guys, this is like my favorite part of the bus. This is absolutely magical. To have a shower that you could stand up in and have a rainwater head and that you could fit 2 people in, this was huge. This is really important. And so when we were designing in the very beginning, we were asking ourselves, how do we do that? And someone pitched this idea to actually do a walk-through shower. And in the beginning, we looked at them like, that's weird, that's crazy, how do you do that? But then after a while of thinking about it, we were like, actually that might work. And so we'll start from the top down. This was the scary part of it. We cut a hole in the roof of the bus. I was so scared about doing this because cutting a hole in your roof is like, that's dicey, you know, it's always prone to leaks. But we sealed it up real well. We ordered this online. This is the biggest sunlight we could get, and we installed this sunlight that's a dome so that we have a little bit more head height. Also, it's amazing because you can shower underneath the stars. When you come down, we have 2 walls that are tiled. These tiles are absolutely stunning. A friend of ours handmade each one of these tiles. This blue color is just absolutely gorgeous. We made a planter box. Adding plants in your space is so important to make it feel like home. And so that's what this really brings. We have a rainwater head. For me, I'm a sucker for rainwaters. Had to have it. Or what is it called? For rainwater heads. That's what I'm a sucker for. We've got our hot and cold water here. This is designed so that when the water comes down, it falls through these floorboards and it's plumbed into our gray water tank down below. And so we can essentially just pull this curtain here, and scrub-a-dub-dub.
So when we're on the road, I make jewelry and run my own business as well as make apothecary goods. I have a space to do all my cutting and all that here. I can hammer details into there. Beeswax from my hubby's bees that I use for making my jewelry and keeping my saw blade moisturized. And then this is where I kind of keep most of my jewels and whatnot that I'm storing for right now. And it just slides in there. This is a flex shaft, a tool that I use for finishing. This keeps freebie gift knickknacks that I use for my business for certain orders. And this would have storage, but it's a wheel well, so we just built it up, raised it, and just used it as a low down kind of seating area. All right, so this is more of like the cooking side of the kitchen. We have our oven here. It's a little camshaft. We keep our iron skillet. That's the only thing that we really cook with and use also on the stovetop. So there's that, and then this is our cutting board that we just keep here when we're not using it. I have a little incense burner here, and then we have a tile wall here. These are all hand-painted Mexican tiles, and we just have that so that, you know, it's like safety for the wood burning. We have like some spices, and then the rest of all our dry goods. And then underneath are all our spices that we cook with the majority of the time. Just kind of like untwist like that. Our speaker kind of lives up here most of the time so that we can always have music playing or listen to podcasts. Our friend gave us this extra large melon. It's my favorite fruit, so it's kind of a special treat that it's so big.
The beauty is really in the details here. So when everything that you do, if you just take into consideration like the live edge here and just cut shutters in half here to place on the side, you know, it's all just really goes into the beauty is in the details. Love this part. This we got secondhand at a reuse store. So Juby cut a hole in the center, basically put a piece of plywood on the back of it. Then we got this wood out of a dumpster. And Juby sanded it and cut it to size and made this herringbone pattern on both sides. And I mean the same with this too. This wood here was pallet wood, and we reused it and repurposed it to make a countertop with rope in the middle of it too. Anything can be beautiful with a little bit of love.
So this is our fridge area. We have a little pantry section up here as well. That's my husband's beekeeping company. He makes honey. It's like raw honey and fresh from the hive. It's a carbon monoxide and smoke detector, and it's really good to have just in general in small spaces for safety. So the ratchet strap connects to this area and runs all the way down to here, and that just like secures the fridge in place whenever we're driving. This is the freezer, and then the fridge. This was from our wedding, and we've been saving it to have on an anniversary. Obviously for our first year anniversary, that was the plan, but then I was pregnant, so I was like, we should wait longer.
Our ceiling is made from pieces of plywood that meet in the center. And man, it was a real pain in the butt to try to bend these. But we were able to bend them to the curve that we needed to fit them in the bus. And so we've got 4 different sheets of plywood. We also, it was very important not to take away the headspace, so we needed like a very thin piece of plywood. It was the point in the project where we were just like, oh man, we were just beat and kind of over it. We took this rope to kind of hide some of the imperfections. We have these 12-volt DC lights that were really easy to hook up and wire, and also give a really nice amount of light in here. We installed an AC unit. This can be a lifesaver in some senses. Now, obviously, we can't run this off the solar system, but when we're plugged up to electricity, we can turn this on and use it. You know, I mean, let's just say it's better than no AC. That's the key point there. And then when you come back here, we also have our fantastic fan. We can use this to ventilate whenever we're cooking in here. We can also use it as a ventilation whenever we're taking a shower. So I think we've seen these on a lot of builds. These are wonderful, absolutely amazing.
This is our closet area. Well, this is my closet area. We have all hanging clothes here, and then there's a couple of baskets down here of tops and bottoms. I have my sewing machines back under there. And then at the very back is all our electrical breaker boxes and jewelry that I keep up here. Up here is where Azalea used to sleep. It's a bassinet that I macrameed, and it would swing, so she was able to get rocked to bed. She's no longer here. Azalea now currently sleeps in this little cushion area over here, and we rotated the bed to be more of a long ways. So we also had these LED strip lights running down the side behind these cedar wood pieces. So from the back door, you would open it and you'd be able to access all this storage under here. And then, like I was saying, this like pushes into a sofa. So you just push this whole thing back, and then you can fold this mattress in half. We always keep this fan back here so that we can have it running. We have another storage box here. The whole thing is going to be covered in pennies, and we're going to have it just as like a decor piece, but it's like our bedside table. We keep our day bags back here, just generally things that we use every day. So back here is this big old bookcase. We have some inspirational books. Justin has a lot of beekeeping books. We have a lot of like green, sustainable living books and like herb growing books. And then we just have these Tibetan prayer flags up here to keep us cozy over the night. Yeah.
So up top we got 500 watts of solar. I would say this much. Solar is the jam. Can't suggest it highly enough. If you don't have solar, you should. We have 4 Trojan T105REs. These are wired in series to make 2 12-volt batteries. Essentially, we've got about 500 amp hours here. And these are the kinds you fill up, flooded lead acid. So we gotta fill them up with water about once a month. We added a rock climbing wall. I had no idea that they were such difficult rock climbing holes. This is like category 25 advanced, which is not actually a thing. I'm just exaggerating. I would climb it, but I have a hole in my pants and my jump would probably fall out. That wouldn't be good B-roll.
Being such a big tire, how much is that to replace?
An arm and a leg. They'll cost you anywhere in the range of like $200-$250 to replace. Yeah, definitely take care of those things. They're big money. Right underneath here, we have attached a 100-gallon freshwater tank. If we use it sparingly, it can last us anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. It's primarily for like washing dishes, but if we're taking showers, it probably lasts us about 10 days, give or take. And this is a 33-gallon gray water tank. And right now, we basically use it to water our garden. We use a inverter. It's a 1500-watt inverter by Ames. Yeah, so this goes right here in this box. This was actually an addition that I didn't know that I would love so much until we actually used them. These are LED floodlights. Whenever we want to use our AC and we're plugged into electricity, this is where we plug in at. Just a little bit of storage for a toolbox. This is going to eventually be mounted underneath the bus, but this is what we use for cooking. We're eventually going to hook it up to our hot water heater as well. This can usually last us about roughly 2 months. One of the most essential parts of living off-grid or sustainably is your water storage. Our neighbor Demian, he is the man. We call him Aquaman. He set up an unbelievable water system. We have these 2 tanks. These hold 1,500 gallons each. He actually catches water off of his home and comes into this tank. So we can catch water, but whenever you go through dry spells, like in July and it's really dry, we can have it filled up by the city of Durham. They'll have a water tank or a water truck that comes out and fills them up. He also built this pump house. It's got the most epic filtering system you've ever seen. There's like literally like UV filtering through that, right? And like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 different filters. Anyway, we got clean water, that's for sure.
So how did you fund this lifestyle and how are you going to make money from the road?
Obviously the build and what you're making, like that takes up your focus, but then when you're done, you're like, oh crap, how am I gonna pay for this? You know, for me, I run my business called Buddha Bee Apiary. And so essentially what we do is we install a beehive in your backyard, and for a monthly fee, we maintain it all throughout the year, and we teach people just the beauty and the art of beekeeping. In the beginning, we'll come back and visit so I can take care of the hives, but in the long run, I'll hire a beekeeper and someone in marketing and communications, and I'll be able to work remotely from the road, and that's how I'll make income.
I have my own business. You saw my little jewelry table inside the bus. That's one of the ways that I make product to sell for my business. So I do jewelry, Apothecary, and I do events and stuff. So yesterday I just got done doing an herbal perfume workshop. So my business is called Moonflower Child, and yeah, it's like an online boutique of goods together. We do YouTube. That's also one of the streams that we make money. I edit the videos and together we film them. And Azalea's the superstar of the videos.
Yeah, that's how she makes money, too.
That's how she makes money. We do have the little bits and bobs that come through. So like the Amazon affiliate links, and then we're like brand ambassadors for her diapers. So she has totally biodegradable diapers, and we get like a little kickback for people that we refer to that company.
That's just about it. But then when you go into expenses is also just as important as the income. So over the course of the past year, we've worked really hard to bring our expenses down. And so for us, when you're looking at expenses, we are generating about $1,800 a month in expenses. And I know that's, for some folks, that's kind of high, but you know, for us, for a family of three, that's pretty freaking good. And you know, that covers insurance, life insurance, health insurance, dental insurance, all that, blah, 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 blah. So we got it down to about $1,800 a month. And so I think that that is 100% easily attainable for us to be able to support on the road.
That's all current bills for us, kind of not really being full-time travel mode. So that's with paying rent of being everything here on the community farm.
Yeah, so once we transition to no rent, that'll go even lower. Bees are a really strong passion of mine. You know, whenever I graduated college, I joined a research team looking at the links of pesticide use and bee mortality. So I really got to see some of the challenges that bees are facing, and really it kind of made an impact on me where I wanted to do what I could to make a difference, to not only like advocate for the bees, but try to teach people and give people this beautiful experience of the art of beekeeping. So we install a honeybee hive. We take care of it once a month, and people can come and join us, put on a suit and get hands-on in the hive and learn about the honeybees and like how important they are for our environment.
Justin's website is bitterbeeapiary.com. My website is moonflowerchild.com. We have our dual purpose Instagram, that's Justin and Juby, and then we each have our own business Instagrams. Yours is bitterbeeapiary and mine is moonflowerchild_boutique.
So make sure you hop on over to our YouTube page, Justin and Juby. Check it out, smash that like button and subscribe, and also check out our man Outdoors Embrace with Ryan. He is the jam. And we also have a Patreon account. Check that out. Basically, check everything out. Whatever you do, just like it all. Just love it, follow it, whatever you do.
Only if you want to, though. You don't have to like it all.
If you want to. This is your choice. We're not twisting your arm, but you should do it.
And yeah, all the links are in the description to keep it simple.
Thank you, guys.